In today's Leeds news, Premier League interest in Harry Gray, Leeds Academy updates, Firpo mystery, and Dan James on Farke's system. Morning folks, Jerry here at The View on Thursday morning, the 20th of March. Just over the first week of the international break. Games will start taking place tonight, tomorrow, and then into the weekend as well, before we get a couple of games next week and then back into focusing on championship action for Leeds the following weekend. Nearly there. We'll get to the preview stuff next week, but today there's a little bit of stuff going around, a little bit of news that's worth checking out. The number 4 hoodie is available in the merch store as well. You can check that out in the link down below if you want to as well. Right, let's start off with the Harry Gray situation that popped up yesterday afternoon, and there has been loose interest in Harry Gray for quite some time now, especially since Archie Gray broke into the Leeds United first team and then subsequently moved on to Tottenham Hotspur. But reports yesterday afternoon and today suggest that the interest in Harry might be getting a little bit more concrete from Premier League sides. The Boot Room Football reporting on Wednesday, and backed up again by the Yorkshire Evening Post today, they said that Spurs are among a host of Premier League sides that are interested in signing the young Leeds United striker. Gray hasn't had a competitive start yet for Leeds, but he did make his debut against Harrogate Town in the pre-season friendly in the summer, and then travelled with the Leeds United squad to Germany before a back injury curtailed his season for a little bit. But alongside Tottenham, Arsenal and Newcastle United are both also mentioned as clubs that are said to be monitoring the situation around Gray. Reports also say that Leeds United are confident of being able to keep hold of Harry Gray for the longer term, and the Gray family, when they had Archie at the club, had a clear pathway set out for him that included making his Leeds United debut before they entertained any possibility of a move elsewhere. At the time, Dortmund, Liverpool and Manchester City were all said to be interested in Archie. The report says that the Gray family see the same situation for Harry and are prioritising his pathway through Leeds before anything happens there. He's currently 16 years of age, so Harry Gray cannot sign a professional deal for Leeds United right now, and if he was to move, he would move for a nominal enough tribunal fee if the family decide that they wanted to move him away from the club. But as I say, Leeds are confident that they can keep hold of him, and the family apparently are in no rush to move him on right now either. So as it stands right now, Harry Gray's still very much a Leeds United player. We might see him towards the end of the season if Leeds can get promotion confirmed early, fingers crossed. Then maybe we can get to see some of him in the first team. Let's move on. Let's talk about some academy updates today that have come out, and thanks to Russ Vernon and Jerry McDermott for some of the topics on this. But a bespoke Leeds United under-19 side will take on PSV Eindhoven today in a friendly. We'll get the reports of that game and the result of that out to you tomorrow, but there are some very notable under-21 players in this under-19 squad as well, so getting some game time in while some of their colleagues are away on international duty. And speaking about one of them, let's talk about Sam Chambers. Yet again, he's making headlines, and Sam Chambers scored on his debut for Scotland in their 1-1 draw with Spain. Chambers gave Scotland the lead before Spain got back into the match, but great to see him having a very positive start to his international career at Scotland. The under-21s have had their National League Cup semi-final draw taking place and will now know who they will face in that semi-final tie. Leeds have been drawn to face Altrincham Football Club away from home in the semi-final of the National League Cup, and that game will take place in the J. Davidson Stadium on April 1st with a 7:30pm kickoff. The winner of that tie will play either Braintree Town or Sutton United in the final, and tickets around that final will be released in due course when information around who is actually in the final is done, dusted and decided. But a very good opportunity for Leeds, on ability wise, on paper at least, although the game is not played on paper, to get into a final, hopefully for them to pick up some silverware this season. Let's move on. Let's talk about Junior Firpo on international duty, and a bit of a mystery that's popped up today and last night. I know I said that I didn't want to see Junior Firpo head off to play into essentially pointless friendlies against Puerto Rico, 2 games against the exact same side, but news today suggests something a little bit odd has gone on, and that might not be the case for Firpo at all. According to reports today, Junior Firpo is with the Dominican Republic squad, and he was set to be in action on Friday night at midnight in the first of their 2 friendlies against Puerto Rico. However, today, sources close to boss Marcelo Nevelev have said that Junior Firpo will be missing from the game on Friday night, but it doesn't explain why he's missing and why he's sitting out that particular game. It goes on to say that there's a possibility, and it is only a possibility, that Leeds United and the Dominican FA have had a conversation to try and reduce the load on the player to allow him to come back for what is a very important run of 8 games for Leeds in the run-in. But that's not being confirmed, and you would imagine if that was the case that Leeds would look for him to miss the second of the 2 games in order to come back early, get rested, get acclimatised and be ready to go for the game next weekend. But as I say, this report doesn't have a massive amount of detail as to what is exactly going on, and we'll have to wait and see. One report said he'll miss both games, and one report says he's only missing the first game, so we're still waiting to get the finer detail on that, but we'll bring that to you in due course once we know exactly what's going on. But it could be a beneficial situation for Leeds if Firpo can rest up for at least one, hopefully 2 of those games, so he comes back in good health and very much a form player for Leeds and very important for us in this run, and he's been one of our major sources of goals and assists over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, we'll need him in the right frame of mind coming back to the club. Let's move on to talk about the final story of the day, and this one relates to Daniel James. Dan James' form over the past 2 seasons for Leeds United has been incredible, and James has always just gotten on with his job, very much a side before self player, and tries to do it as often as he can with a smile on his face. He's put behind him the few frustrating seasons he had in the Premier League with Leeds when he was played in a number 9 position at the club despite not being a natural striker, and then sent off on loan to Fulham during the relegation campaign. But he has bounced back at Leeds and is definitely one of the most in-form and impactful players that Leeds have at the club right now. James is, as I say, one of the most effective players. He's got 10 goals and 9 assists to his name so far this season from 27 starts for the club, and has become a little bit of a victim of some close attention and very tight man marking over the past couple of weeks, which is a problem that Leeds will need to find a solution for in order to get Daniel James in more space. Clubs have just literally decided to stand beside him and remove the space to get him going. So Leeds will need to get past that in order to get him back into doing what he does best for the club. But James, however, says that Daniel Farke's management style has been a major factor in his return to form and the impact he's had at Leeds over the past 2 seasons. Speaking while on international duty, Daniel James said the following: "When he first came in, he put his arm around me and said what he wanted from me. We had a good relationship from the start, and it's one that I've tried to continue with. The way he sets up his team suits me down to the ground, and that's where I get the benefits from." James also went on and was referred to as a Wales legend in line with John Charles, given his connection between Leeds and the Welsh national side. And the more humble nature of Dan James kicked in this situation, saying that as much as it is an honour to be put in that bracket, he personally doesn't feel that he belongs in that just yet. Anyway, on that topic, he said the following: "It's always an honour to be put in a category like that. I think I'm a long way off to be put in the same bracket as him. Things like that I try not to get too high off. We've got 8 important games left and we are still at a stage where we haven't done it yet." Feet firmly on the ground from Dan James, and definitely work still to be done from a Leeds United perspective, and he will have an important part to play in the run-in. This time last year, once the international friendlies finished, and unfortunately James and the Welsh lads were knocked out of the qualifiers at that point and came back with their heads a little bit down. The form definitely dipped in them with Conor Roberts, Dan James and Joe Rodon at that point, and the form dipped with all of them. So we hope they come back from this run of games in better form and in better spirits, because they'll all be massive impacts for Leeds. Let's hope everyone that's on international duty gets back fit and healthy, the most important thing, and then we can hopefully they're in form coming into the run as well, because it will be an important couple of weeks for Leeds United leading into what will be now the business end of the season. No more breaks after this international break. A straight sprint through to the end of the season, and hopefully Leeds have enough in the tank to get over the line and get promoted back to the Premier League. But a lot of road to be ran there, and still plenty of points to be played. Folks, that will be it for me today. Massive thank you as always for supporting the channel. If you want to get your hands on the number 4 hoodie, which is the logo on the sleeve there as well somewhere, you can't really see it, there you go. Links down below in the description, as well as any of the merch on that stuff. If you want to get that and support the channel, use the link there, and that will help me. Right, folks, that'll be it for me today. Massive thanks as always, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.